Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So, last episode we went and built up this small little sunken ship here, as well as another one elsewhere in our bay, and turned at least this one here into a small artificial reef. And since then, we have been quite busy putting in the seagrass, kelp, and corals all through this area. We've gotten 2 layers all the way around the island at least, and I'm quite liking how this turned out. I think it turned out okay. I might need to go through and trim and cut back a bit of the seagrass and corals to make it a bit less cluttered. But as you can tell, we also took off a couple of our camera filters for a bit so we could see any gaps in the glass wall. We did find a couple, so that is good. Did not particularly want to have to find those when we got through in filling this, but I'm sure we got most of them now, and I'm sure there's probably one or two floating around here that we'll find later. But today we have several little projects to finish up around the island, starting with filling in this ocean. So I think I'm going to set my camera down on the raft so that any stray enderman that may have spawned in a spot that I missed can't steal it this time, and get to work filling up this area. Well, it turns out that the memory card on that camera was almost full, so we didn't get very much of filling up this area. Plus, the raft was rocking way too much when the water went past it as it filled up, so that kind of did not go as planned. Kinda wish we had Puck out here to help us with some better angles, but he's still out watching that portal, make sure it connects. Kinda weird, we haven't heard anything from him in a while. But that's fine, he's probably okay. It's probably taking longer to connect than usual because we had just dust fragments to go off of. Maybe we should set up a robot over there to take over so Puck can come back and help us. Probably a good idea eventually. I'll have to go do some tinkering with that. Got a couple ideas, probably an observer. There's something with the amethyst calibrated skulk sensor that might help us and help us alert when the portal connects. I don't know, again, I'll have to do some tinkering with that, see what I come up with. For now, we have one more little build if I can not run into the island here. Anyway, as I was saying, we have one more little build that needs to go into the sea here before the water level gets too high and we can't reach the cave where it needs to go. And that is the sub that's going to be docked at the research lab. So I've got a couple things of smooth stone here. Need to go and figure out what exactly I want to do for that. I've got a rough shape I want to do. I just don't know if it's going to be short enough to fit in that area. And that ocean temple looks really nice out here. I do like that. Especially now that we have actually got water through most of it. But I'm going to go tinker with that. And then I'll be right back. And just like that, our newest little sub is born. Just a tiny little thing. I call this little one the Dolphin. No particular reason. Definitely doesn't just look like a kind of flattened dolphin here. But if we go on inside here, we actually have to break these 2 blocks here to hop inside. We've got a little scaffolding chair here to look out through our nice big bay windows. Got a little barrel in the back here for storage to transport stuff in. And I'm quite happy with how that turned out. I really like this little thing. It's kind of just like a silly uh, little cartoony, but I love it. And it fits kind of nicely in the space. It's actually a little tight. It probably could have done to build it down a block, but I'm quite happy with how that turned out. It just completes this whole area here. I absolutely love it. Speaking of which, if you come in here, since we haven't seen this thing fully filled, see our crystal here actually descends all the way into the water, which is perfect. We actually can't even get up our ladder here because we got a crystal there. And our lab is still missing all the animals. You know what? We got plenty of glow squid around here. Let's break our door, go find a lead. We should be able to get a glow squid in there pretty quick. All right, so we ended up knocking out a few more things to facilitate getting our squid in here because basically, once we get out of the water down there, we have a very limited amount of time before we can drag it into the tank before it suffocates. So we basically took off the lid of our tank, took out a bit of the ceiling here to facilitate getting the squid up here in the first place. And we put down a thing of scaffolding here just to make sure that any water doesn't get onto our floor. So that we just need to locate a squid, which shouldn't be too bad. They're kind of everywhere down here, it seems. Ah, there we go. There's a good one right there. All right, let's get some air because we're going to have a nice long swim here. Leash our squid, and let's see how this goes. This hopefully shouldn't be too bad. Once we actually get it over here, we lost it. Oh, good. Found our lead. All right. Come on, squid. Oh, that's going to be a small issue. It likes to float at the surface here. Come on, let's get you up here. In retrospect, we probably should have had a taller ceiling here. Well, there goes that plan. Somehow, we will eventually manage to get a glow squid in there. Somehow. Do I know how? No. Not at all. But I suppose that we should probably get this put back together then. At least for now. It was worth a shot. I was really hoping that we'd actually manage to succeed at that. But, oh well. We tried. We did not succeed. And, well, man, we'll have to try that again some other time, presumably when we actually have a bit better chance of actually getting it up here. But, oh well. I'm glad that we at least tried it. And we, again, somewhat succeeded. We managed to get it almost to the lab. We just couldn't quite get it up onto the platform. Sure, there's probably a way that we could easily get it up there. Probably have to take out some of the platform, put in some more water sources. But with that, I'm quite happy with how this is coming along. Again, we have quite a bit more water to put in here, but there's not really a whole lot more to do other than that. Now, the rest of the projects we have are all stuff up on the island. We do have a bit of work on the edges of the island here, where we just need to get some of our terraforming brought down in some of the coves and such. But doing a lot of that is going to require the water level to be at its max, just so that we can get access to the cliffs from our raft here. And the other thing that we need is we have a couple bridges. One of them is obviously right here that we need to fit in. Probably just something like our bridge over here. And as you can see, we still have all of the groundwork to do. We've got quite a bit of it in, but there is still a lot to do. That is just going to take a bit of time. But before we get everything super cluttered like this, we should probably go ahead and put in the lanterns like how we have for our path here, leading to our house where we have our jungle, and how we have over in the villager area where we have cherry, I believe. Now, what I'm thinking is that one of these is going to be birch, and the other one is going to be our mangrove. Yeah, see, we've got cherry lanterns through here. This is actually a lot sparser than the rest of the island ended up being. Maybe when we went a bit overboard on plants. But what I'm thinking is we will get out some of our fence posts. I know I've got a handful somewhere around here, I think. And we will get those filled in. Now I'm leaning towards doing birch going into our little port area over here and doing mangrove around the main central path. Mainly because we've got the mangrove through here, and I think it'd just be weird just to have that over here. Although we might do birch along the central path. Got quite a few mangrove. We don't have a whole lot of birch though, so that might be a bit of an issue. But as you saw, these are just going to be simple little lanterns that go around the place, just right through here, just to add a little bit more light to the area. I think that'll look pretty good. And it just kind of marks the path a little bit more than what we already have. So I'm going to go and get these in. Probably do birch on this path as well. We don't really have a fourth wood type that we have here. I guess maybe oak, but not too sure about oak. Hmm. Now maybe we'll do some oak on this path here, just because it kind of doesn't really connect too much to stuff. Although I guess that would technically be birch because it goes to the port as well. So we'll have to fiddle around with that. Apparently we have a crafting table down here that we didn't collect. But right now, I think I'm going to go and get these lamp posts in, get the lamps on them, and then I'll be right back. Oh, and get the bridges in too. We have the two bridges that we need to get done. All right, and there we go. We now have lanterns pretty much all the way around the path. We actually ran out of lanterns, and we're pretty much out of emeralds out here, so we can't just go buy some from our villager over there. So we still have paths like this one here that need a few more lanterns. But we did end up going with mangrove around here. I love the mangrove around here. I think it really fits for this being the main path. And we ended up going with oak leading down to the port because it turns out we already have used birch for lanterns in this area. Now, in the port itself, I did go and put in some more posts like we have down on the docks with the mangrove and the lanterns. I think that looks really nice. Just kind of adds a bit of a visual light source to the area. And as you can see, we still don't have enough lanterns. So we're going to have to go and get those. Apparently, I missed a forest flower over here. But other than that, things are looking pretty nice around here. We got both the bridges in, and they're just really simple little things. They're just the normal little ones that we did earlier. So I'm quite happy with how they look. I think they fit in quite nicely. And I'm really liking how the whole river area over here looks now that we have all of the plants and stuff in. And as you can see, our birch is here because apparently we decided to use birch on the island. So naturally, the path heading to the island, I'm just going to use the birch on. But again, this is looking really nice. There's our one bridge over the river, and I love how this is turning out. Might be a little crowded for some of this, but I think it's turning out all right. Did go and put some turtle eggs down here so that we have another little beach that we can get turtles on, and they don't have to go through all of this to be able to lay eggs because the main turtle beach for all of our turtles so far is right here. And well, that's just going to be a really hard thing for them to get all the way over there. But other than that, I also went and took off the torches on top of the observatory, placed that with a bit of glow lichen, which seems to be doing the trick to keep the Enderman at bay. So that is good. I'm happy that that is working. Don't have to worry about Enderman on that roof coming down and taking all of our stuff. And it looks quite a bit better than just having random torches on that roof. So that's good. We should probably figure out a lamppost thing for over here. Maybe we'll just take some copper lightning rods. Maybe we'll use acacia or something. We haven't used acacia in this area, but it does kind of match the copper, I suppose. But again, we have more lanterns to go get. We're running low on a couple more of our plants that we should probably go and get a few more of because we still have a decent portion of the island left to go and collect stuff from. But other than that, we are pretty much all set, at least until we get the water in. So, I think that I'm going to go ahead and go and focus on finishing up filling that all in. We've got 20 more rows. I've got a few ideas of how to make it go a little bit faster, at least make it a little easier to do. Don't know if it'll actually make it any faster. But with that, I think that that is going to be it for today. So, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more of what is going on in this end hub and in the rest of this world. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.